All right, here we are. Let's see if anyone shows up on this Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. Hey, Arthur, how's it going? There we go. Now everyone's starting to pop up. Hello, everyone. Did this one a little bit earlier today just to see what would happen. Might not get as many viewers this time because everyone might be at work, but who knows? Maybe we'll get some audience that we wouldn't normally get to. Yeah, it's in the 90s here too. I think it got up to 100, they said today. Kind of wish it was raining here a little bit. We got an actual tornado watch last night. You'll have to watch my vlog. It'll come up in a couple hours for that. But that was really exciting. A lot of lightning, a lot of wind, very little rain. Hey, all right, my first super chat. Thank you, Janet. That's very generous of you. Looks like I guess we got it working this time, huh? We tried it last time and I couldn't get the super chat to work. There's something in the advanced settings where you turn it on, and I turned it on, and that didn't seem to work last time. But then when I looked into it a little deeper last time afterwards, we went in there and found out there was something I had to sign and something like that. So we did that. I guess it works now. It's about 100 here right now. It's really, really miserable. I've been glad I didn't do the pod today because it was worse today than it was yesterday. Yeah, I almost passed out just being in here. My air conditioning is struggling to kind of keep things cool, so you may end up seeing me sweat a little bit here today. Yeah, 47 people. That's good. 48 people. Yeah. I bet you it isn't as cold, or bet you it isn't as hot in Michigan, huh, Denise? Yeah. See, it's the opposite with me. If I really wanted good AC, I'd go out into the car right now. I think the AC is just like everything else in this apartment, where they just kind of spent money. It's funny because there's actually a new compressor out in front of my building, so they've been actually doing replacing some of these. But Brenda Lee, I'm glad you're watching. I'm glad you're learning some stuff. I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to pull that off. That anyone would actually watch that, but people seem to love it. So you know what? I can do that. That's easy. Yeah, you're right. It could be Freon, but it's a new compressor, so you'd think that that wouldn't be an issue. Yeah, I haven't even looked at heat index. I'm just looking at absolute temperature. Heat index is often worse when you factor in as much humidity as we have here. I was actually hoping that that little storm that we had last night would maybe cool things off, but no such luck. It just added to the humidity. Yeah, even my glass is sweating. Yeah, I've been thinking about that too, getting a small window air conditioner, but I don't know where I would put it at this point, and it'd be complicated because then what happens when I move out? Do I take it with me, and then do they have to do the repairs and whatever? So yeah, that's really the big difference in Texas here. We get heat like this in California, but it isn't usually factored in with the humidity like this. That's one of the reasons why when I find a job, I really want to try and find an indoor job, so I'm not outside in the middle of all this. Yeah, I guess I've thought about that too. They've got these little portable air conditioners that you buy that you don't actually have to attach them to a window. You just literally bring them in the room with you, and they work. We also had something at Disney called a portacool, which is basically was a fan that just blew air through the stream of water, and that actually did a really good job of keeping our warehouses cooler. At least you blew it into the area where everyone was, and it did a really good job keeping things nice. Yeah, exactly, a swamp cooler. We used to call them that too. The official term is portacool, but yeah, we called them the swamp coolers too. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping so. Like I said, I can deal with it as long as I don't have to be out in it so much. And that's why I sort of want to see if I can find a job that's indoors. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You use those porta-coolers in a really in a humid environment. You're not doing anything but making the problem worse. But sometimes, humidity, at least with me, humidity when it's cool isn't as bad as humidity when it's hot. So, you know, who knows? Oh, I wish you could have stayed a little longer, Debbie. But I understand, depending on where you are in the world, it might be really late already. If you're in Europe, it's probably coming up on about midnight, so or later. But I'm glad you stopped in at least a little bit. Yeah, everyone seems to say it's like raining a lot in Ohio. I guess I looked at the radar a little while ago, and it did look like there was like a storm front coming through. 7 o'clock. Okay, so you're an hour ahead of me. You must be on the East Coast somewhere. See what the weather looks like in Ohio here since I got this here. I really got to get all my pads and stuff sunk so that everything's in the same place. It's weird when a button's here on this device and it's over here on another device. And 4:05. You must be on the Pacific Coast. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of rain blowing through Ohio right now. I guess I can see that. Yeah, you guys are like right here. So yeah, it happens. Wish it was happening here, but whatever. We'll just have to deal with the heat here until it blows over until we get a little rain here. Yeah, I am enjoying all the crazy weather here. It's a lot more than we used to get back in California. That's I guess the problem you run into when you're in a desert. It just doesn't rain too much. I guess that's literally the definition of a desert, huh? So yeah, we had a we actually had a tornado watch last night. My alarm was going off all night, and it was a lot of lightning, a lot of wind, but we didn't get a whole lot of rain. I think I got like 15 hundredths of an inch of rain, so it was like nothing. It was all bark and no bite, if you will. Oh, okay. So we got it to the point where you guys in Australia can watch. That's cool. But yeah, if I guess if I do it a little bit later now, then we can maybe get maybe one of these weeks I'll do one guided geared towards you guys in that part of the world. Because I think if I do one like 8 or 9 at night, then that might be a good time for you to do it. If it's 8:30 in the morning now there. Oh, you saw my bungee jumping video. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I would definitely do that again. It was funny. I just come back from Hawaii about a month earlier where I really badly sprained my ankle. So I was really worried about doing that. There's two ways that you can do the bungee jump. They'll either put like a harness on your waist, and then you'll have like a body harness. And then when you jump, you get caught by the harness on your waist. But you can do it another way too, where you actually end up upside down and the strap is on your ankles, and you end up at the end you end up upside down hanging over on the cord. I would have done that except for the fact I was concerned that really would have hurt my ankle. So we'll try that next time. I'm kind of in Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley is a little bit more north of here, but yeah, you're right. We get tornadoes too. Uh, So, that's like I said, I was looking forward to a little extreme weather. I wanted to be far enough, we get some hurricanes here too. I wanted to be far enough away from hurricanes so I didn't have to deal with things like storm surge and stuff like that. And usually with hurricanes, they kind of weed out pretty quickly uh, once they get ashore, because it's the ocean water that kind of acts like the engine that drives all that. And the second the thing moves over land, you lose it. And they die out pretty quick. I posted my bungee jump video on my personal video channel. So yeah, that's where they found that. You'll have to go look that up. It's under my name. You have to go check it out. It was actually something my friend Beth, who I mentioned in my video yesterday. We did all these kind of adventuresome things to celebrate her birthday each year. One year we parachuted. Another year we did bungee jumping. We did all sorts of fun stuff. So that was we had a lot of fun. I actually did 3 jumps that day. And so it was, one where you just kind of dive. There's different ways you can do it. You can dive off forward. You can kind of do one of these. They call them the Sigourney Weaver, because at the end of Alien 3 or something like that, she's got one of the aliens in her stomach and is just about to be born, and she does one of these things and falls backwards into the lava pit, and that's how and they end up writing her off. So yeah, they call it a Sigourney Weaver there. I always thought that was funny. It's just my name. So just go search my name, first name, last name. It was a lot of fun. I like facing fears like that, and I've never really had an irrational fear of like heights and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a while ago that we did the bungee jump. That was probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. Midnight in the UK, huh? Yeah, that sounds about right. Because you're about 6 hours ahead of me, and it's 6:11 right now. Well, it's okay, Nancy. I leave these up for the most part, so you can go back and watch. I don't know. I read about this when I was learning how to do some of this. I guess there's a feature that's enabled where you could actually treat this like a DVR and right now go back to the beginning of the stream and watch the whole thing from the beginning. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know if that's enabled. I think it is. I think it's something that they just enable automatically. But obviously, if you go back in time, you're going to be 15 minutes behind us, and you might miss your opportunity to get some questions. So no fear of heights, but the yanking back up afterwards is at the drop is too much, huh? Yeah, yeah, that's weird when you're bouncing around. When I did it, we were jumping off of a bridge, and so I was always concerned that I was going to bounce and fly back into the bridge, but never happened. So that's glad. That's good. I'm glad you like watching live. Like I said, I leave these videos up generally because people like to watch them. So you know what? It'll be up afterwards. Yeah, the bungee cords don't make the boing boing sound though. That's the only thing. I could use that little door stopper thing. That's a close approximation, right? Yes, I did skydive. That was one of the things I did with my friend Beth. We jumped out of an airplane over Lake Elsinore. It was a tandem jump, so I didn't do it by myself, but I have done that. I think there's a video of that up too. What am I thinking about for a new career? Basically, something that looks interesting, something that pays well, and hopefully something that will keep me out of the heat. Feel like a yo-yo, huh? Yeah, I guess that's another thing that you'd get from the bungee jumping is you do bounce around quite a bit, because you'll bounce 6 or 7 times before you actually kind of settle down. Our bite and nibble, are fine. They're just upstairs sleeping right now. I was kind of hoping that maybe, last time I did one of these, they kind of, bite kind of came down to see what all the commotion was about. But I think I did that a little earlier in the day too, and I think that makes a difference with them. They're a little bit more active in the morning and then kind of go into sleep mode. Usually 1 or 2 in the afternoon until they're ready to get up. 10-year-old that climbed El Capitan. That's insane. I'd be afraid to do that a little bit. I've done a little rock climbing, but I don't know how comfortable I am uh, with the whole sheer, climbing a sheer cliff face. I like to have like, footholds and handholds. No, that is not the skydiving Beth. That's another Beth. I mentioned skydiving Beth in my vlog yesterday, and it was funny. About an hour after I posted that one, she texted me and was really excited that I name checked her on that. So that was really cool. It's nice that she's watching. She's been a close friend for forever. She actually grew up in the house directly behind the house I grew up. So I've known her basically all her life. Uh, yeah, lots of Beths in the world. I In terms of being to New York, yes, technically I have, but I didn't really. I spent the night there because I had a layover. When I was in college, I went with the college band to perform in Spain for a couple weeks. And when we flew there, there was a layover in New York. I didn't really get a chance to get out and look at the city. So, yes, I've technically been there, but no, I have not visited it. Spent any time there. I just slept there overnight. Can't find the Bungee video. Well, I think it's on there somewhere. Um, I don't know. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. Well, it's funny. I see this video. Apparently, I'm live streaming right now. Imagine that. And I do see my name coming up as a video channel, but unfortunately, it's this thing. So I don't know. I'll have to keep looking for it. It's on there. Is the pod all emptied out? No, actually, I explained that a little bit in the video that hasn't uploaded yet. Um, I guess I kind of misworded it when I wrote the title because I said, cleaning out the final pod or whatever the word was. And I didn't actually completely clean it out. As you remember, when I cleaned out pod number 2, it actually took 2 days to do that. So I'm about halfway done with it. And, I'm going to take a day off and take a few days off to recover from that because I got a little bit of sunburn yesterday. You might be able to see a little on my face. And so I wanted to give that a chance to kind of, ease up a little bit before we try again. Hi, Tracy from UK. I was a saxophone and a clarinet player. I had one of each. Baritone saxophone, actually, one of the big giant ones. It's my Bungee videos on. It's on neither Facebook. It's on YouTube. I have a Breck Roll YouTube channel. You got to go find it just by searching my name. Although I did that a minute ago and it just kept bringing me up to here. So I don't know. I'll check and see if it's on there. But that was just something that we did a long time ago. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it is. It's an old video. It's probably 10 or 15 years since we did that. It was fun. It was they called it the bridge to nowhere. It was a bridge that they had built back in the 20s, and then like a year or so after the bridge was built, there was like a flash flood that went through there and just wiped out all the roads out there. And so there's nothing back there anymore. You have to actually hike. It's like a 2 or 3 mile hike back there, and then just out in the middle of nowhere, there's this just bridge there. And apparently they've gotten permission from Angeles Oaks, which is where the bridge is, to use it as a bungee jump location. I don't even know if they still do it anymore, actually. Might have gone out of business. I am still way behind with Jordan's vlogs. I do hot and cold on that. Sometimes I watch them a lot, and then I'll take a break from them and I'll come back and binge watch them. So it's been a while since I've really watched them seriously. So I probably got to start doing that, catch up a little bit. But I'm like way behind right now. Is it okay? Bridge to Nowhere still is. I know that the place that I skydived actually went out of business. I guess they had an accident and somebody died in the skydive place, and so I don't think they're in business anymore. But I hadn't heard anything about the Bridge to Nowhere, so somebody has confirmed that they're still there, so that's good. Have I had any marriage proposals as a result of my vlogs? No, not yet. I think all the women are flirting with me, though. It's really odd because I look at the demographics of who's watching me, and like 80% of my audience is females between 35 and 55. So it's right there where it's right there where you need to have it. So I don't know. I'm waiting for one. Oxnard, California. It's not that hot there today, is it? What is it, in the 70s? Still have a little bit of an interest. Actually, Oxnard's a little bit inland, so it's probably hotter there. How are the t-shirts coming along? Okay, the guy who's doing my first one, the one I showed you the other day, um, I honestly don't think he did. He thought I was really going to run with this. So the second he found out I was really serious about it and thinking about going to Merch 5, he said, okay, I do want to do this, but I want to spend a little bit more time and put a little bit more detail and get a little bit more, contrast and scaling and stuff like that. So he's working on that, and I got another, and he's going to do that. He has another idea right now for a second one. That's not how it's done shirt, and I don't really want to kind of pin him into any corners right now, so I'm not going to tell you what his idea is, but it's another good idea, and he's going to whip up something for me on that. We'll see how that turns out. So we may have 2 T-shirts coming out. Definitely the Texas Pod Saw Massacre, which I saw. I showed you that last time, and then I guess I put that on one of my vlogs too. And then this new "That's Not How It's Done" shirt. So I think they're both going to be good. Yeah, that's right. In California, you do get what they call June gloom. Basically, what's happening then is the oceans are just starting to warm up, and then you get a little moisture coming in, and a lot of the day is just like overcast, and they call that June gloom in California. I remember that very well. On my old Facebook. I might have put it on my Facebook profile too, but I thought it was up on YouTube. I'll have to look. Maybe if it isn't, I made a DVD of it at the time. Maybe I can just pull the video off of it. Although I probably have it on my computer somewhere too. Uh, Maybe we'll upload that if it isn't there already. I haven't figured out what they're going to cost, but since it's going to be done by the same people that are doing Jordan's t-shirts, it'll probably cost what his do. Maybe a little bit less from them, because one of the things Jordan really liked about Merch 5 is that they had a graphic artist on staff. And I guess they lost that graphic artist and haven't replaced him yet. So that's why I've been sort of going with this guy that just was just watching the videos and said, "Oh yeah, I'm a graphic artist, and I was just really bored one day, and I came up with this." And he sent that to me, and I loved it. So, you know, maybe he'll be my graphic artist. Is somebody from Ireland, or are you from Ireland, Lizzie? Oh yeah, it rains all the time in the UK. I hear that. Haven't been there myself, but I've heard enough about it. Okay, so maybe it is on Facebook alone. I know I had it at one point. Maybe there was one point when Jordan's vlogs were starting to take off, and I like dumped a bunch of stuff off my personal Facebook page because some of the trolls were going after that. So I don't know. Maybe it's safe to do it again. Put something up there and let you see that. I could put the skydiving video too. All right, somebody from LA. Well, maybe I'll put them up. Like I said, I'm not going to put them on this channel because this is something else. But you know, we'll see. Do I have a Patreon account? Yes, I do technically have one, but I haven't really done anything with it yet. Thinking about what I'm going to do for after I like move into a house, and maybe at that point, we might set that up. I don't know yet. We're just kind of thinking about it. Right now, we've just got the super chat going, and this is the first day that we've managed to get that to work well. So got that going for me at least. Yeah, the trolls have been a big issue with Jordan. That was a big part of him, you know, disengaging from social media. That was a big part of him deleting his account or his email account, and it's also the reason why he disables comments so many times. It's a shame that there's people out there. You get people like Jordan who just want to be really really nice people. Um, and you just get some jerk out there that wants to cause trouble. how loud was the saw when I was drilling those rails? It really wasn't that bad. It's worse, I think, on the camera because the camera has like what they call automatic gain control. So it kind of focuses in on whatever the predominant sound around them is, and it kind of focuses on that and amplifies that. Um, so I don't think my neighbors were even aware of it. The beauty is one of the things I liked about this place is I don't have any neighbors on top of me. I don't have any neighbors on either side of me, and I only have a neighbor through that wall. You go through the wall on that side, and it's a walkway. So, uh, it's just I've always been somebody that likes a really quiet, especially at night. I'm very easily awoken at night, and so that was one of the first things that I was really interested, excited about was that this was going to probably be a really quiet place. So it has been. Thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate that. That's really generous of you. So I'm glad to see that the super chat's working, people. That's great. Yeah, I've been actually starting to see a little bit of money coming in from the ad revenue too, which is kind of nice. It starts off really slow, but right now, I'm getting about $10 a day, and I figure, $10 a day for a month, that's $300. That's some good cash. I can deal with that. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do is to make you hungry. That place was really good. It was kind of it was really weird when I went there because I actually drove around the place a couple times. I didn't think they were open. There was like one car in front of the place, and so I was concerned that they were closed. But apparently, I went really early because it was like 5 o'clock, and maybe 5 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon isn't the best barbecue time. It might have warmed up a little bit as time went by, but they've been open since I guess like 10 that morning. So I don't know. Maybe they have a big lunch crowd, and then maybe get a bigger dinner crowd. Maybe I just missed that, but it was a really good place to eat. Have I ever been to Mall of America? Yes, I have an uncle and a lot of family that live in Minnesota. I have an uncle who lives in Bloomington, just a couple miles from the Mall of America. Uh, so yeah, it's an interesting place. I've been there a couple times. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I agree with you. Some of the best places to eat are just holes in the wall, just dives. I don't know what I get per view, but I mean I'm getting thousands and thousands of views. So if people are watching, going back and watching my live streams and going back and watching old episodes and stuff like that, I'm getting between 1,000 and 1,500 views per video right now. So I don't know, it's probably just a couple pennies per view, but a lot of people watching, those pennies add up. My parents would appreciate that, GRC. Thank you. So I got some of you talking to other people now, so I gotta go try and figure out what some of the comments mean. I've been also kind of keeping an eye on some of the money I got when I bought the house. I put it into one of those Ally bank accounts. It's an online bank, and I've been really surprised about the interest I'm getting on that. Just in a few days, I've gotten like I don't know $150 from that. So that was a good idea. That was something my brother-in-law, uh, who is an investment broker for Edward Jones. He read, I was gonna once I got the money for the house, I was initially going to have him hold on to it. And he says, "Well, we could do that, but what you really ought to do is go to either like Chase or Ally Bank." And he actually specifically recommended Ally because he says they have like a 2% interest rate, which is really good. That's usually like 10 times more than most banks have, and that was a good move. Did I iron the flag? No, I really, really want to do it. You can see it looks really bad behind me, but I have not found my iron yet. It must be what's left in the pod. Oh, thank you, Kelly. That's really, I really appreciate that. That's nice. I'm over, yeah, 2,000 subscribers. Yeah, in fact, I'm inches away from 2,400. I think just a couple more people will do that. Wow, thank you, Heinz. That's great. Appreciate that a lot. Have to do the translation to figure out what that comes out to, but appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're not the first person that said that it looks like that it painted the flag on bricks. Yeah, that's just the fold marks from when it was in the packaging. Like I said, I got to get my iron, but I haven't found that yet. So we're gonna have to, I'll probably have that in the next few days because that's bugging me too. A lot of people say that their ADD is causing that. Really bugs them when I do with that. So it bugs me to some extent. So I got to get that done, and maybe I'll just have to go out and buy an iron. Who knows? They're not that cheap, or they're not that expensive. Have you tried D Live? I don't know what that is. Yeah, I know. I'm concerned about that too because the flag is made out of nylon, so I'll have to do it with a real low heat. Otherwise, you're right, I will melt it. But at some point, I'll probably have get like a cloth flag, one that's actually sewed together, not just something printed on nylon. Yeah, you're right. OCD, not ADD. You're right. I'm sorry. I get my my little mental ticks confused sometimes. Yeah, it's been really, really hot here lately. It's I think it was they predicted it was going to be like 100 degrees uh, today. So that's actually a good idea, Kelly. Put a towel between it when I iron it. You're right. That might not be a bad idea. That probably would help insulate from the heat. I've heard people say like if you moisten the towel too, then you'll get a little moisture in there too. That seems like it would that would work. Yeah, see, a lot of people are making that suggestion. You're right. That actually sounds like a really good idea because the physical contact with a really hot iron on the nylon, that's just going to make that melt. Yeah, pillowcase too. That's another thing. Uh, Rain? No, we had a storm blow through here last night. You'll have to watch my vlog because I talk more about it. You'll have to watch the one that I post today. It's already uploaded, but it hasn't. It doesn't go up for another hour and a half yet, hour 20 minutes. So, we'll end by then. We'll end the video by then, so you can go watch that. Actually, when I did the last video that I did about this time of the evening, I actually had to laugh because it affected my numbers on the analytics. It was it was funny because since people were watching me and I was live, I was doing the live stream when the video went live. Everybody was over here and nobody was watching it, and so the analytics feature was trying to tell me, oh yeah, this video isn't performing as well. It's like, well, it'll catch up, and it did. This video is about whatever you want it to be. I'm here to answer questions. Thanks, Debbie. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'll probably do some more little sightseeing things. I just didn't want to have this thing be just a total ripoff of Jordan's vlog. That's kind of his thing, and this has kind of turned into my thing. And yeah, it's a vlog about my life, and right now my life is, getting this place fixed up. But yeah, my life can include maybe some of the things I go and do. I've done a couple of those. We did the Memorial Day video, which was a little excursion. We did the Mammoth Park, which was kind of fun. There's a few things I'd like to do, but it isn't going to be a central focus of this vlog. Did I consider moving to any other states? I at one point I was really seriously thinking about either going to Ohio or Wisconsin. Jordan's father actually was talking about maybe getting me a job in the company he worked for, but it didn't really pan out, and so I would have considered that, you know. But the thing I was mainly concerned about in terms of like going like to Wisconsin is the snow and how Flash, my tortoise, was going to be able to deal with that. You know, she can deal with it getting a little cold in the winter and she hibernates, but if you get to the point where it freezes, I don't know. I'd end up having to bring her in every year, and that would create confusion for her because the second you bring her in, then she acclimates to the warmer temperature, and then all of a sudden she's up and walking around in the house. So, do I do much cooking at home? I do mostly on the barbecue. I have, I cook a little bit. I do more of that than like going out to eat. You know, occasionally I'll do it, but it's very rare. Actually, I ate out more in the first couple of weeks here when I had nothing here than I do now because basically I didn't have any pots or pans or any of that stuff. So my only option was either to starve or to go out. So I went out a lot, but didn't really uh, didn't really go and explore that much. I ate a couple times at places, but for the most part, I just went fast food stuff I was familiar with. Did I design the mouse in the intro? No, that was an image I found online. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think I went and Googled angry mouse or something, or angry Mickey Mouse or something like that. And that was like the first picture that came up, and it was a nice big picture. So, that was the thing I had to do is I wanted to find something. With the images you find on Google, you sometimes get little images or big images, and if you're going to put something onto an HD image like this, like my videos are, you got to have it big enough so it doesn't look all pixelated. And that was what I love. One of the things I really liked about it. I laughed at the image when I first saw it. I said that was perfect, and I was really, really happy that it was big enough. It wasn't scaled right. It was more of a square image, but it's just the picture of Mickey in the gray background. So it was real easy just to stretch the sides of the image and just fill it in. So that took me all of like 5 minutes to prepare. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to stop using that at some point, though, because it's probably copywritten by somebody. Nobody's complained yet, so we'll see what happens. I'm glad you like my channel, Linda. I appreciate everyone watching. The truth is, Jordan got this all started, but it's the love and support I get from you guys that keeps me going. It makes me, want to get up in the day. It's like, okay, what are we going to do today? What are we going to vlog? You know, it was really funny because yesterday I didn't really do a whole lot except for stuff out of the pod, and I was thinking, um, you know, when I was making the intro and outro for my video, that this is just going to be a really short video, like 2 or 3 minutes or something. But I got so much really good footage, I thought, from the lightning storm last night that we turned it into like a 12-minute video. So that's cool. That's good. I'm glad. I like to think of you guys all as my extended family. Well, the storm, I put that on yesterday's video. Just a lot of lightning and stuff like that. I did that just because the it was just such an unusual lightning storm. I've seen video of lightning storms where it's just boom, 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 boom the whole time, but I've never actually seen it, myself. In California, yeah, you get a lightning strike every once in a while in the right kind of storm, but that's it's infrequent. You'll get maybe one lightning strike every minute or two or 5 or 10 or whatever. Here it was literally every couple seconds there was a strike. Are you talking about you talking about this thing, or are you talking about this thing? That thing just made some noise. That's something I pulled out of one of the pods yesterday. Uh, it's called a rain stick. Actually, it's just I guess it's a piece of like cactus stump or something like that, and it's got all sorts of like little pins going through it. And so you tip it upside down like this, it makes a lot of noise. I do it to entertain the cats. I put it behind the couch and trigger it to go, and then when they're back there, you know, they'll end up triggering it, and it'll make a noise. I think it's a lot like. Do you remember that game in the '70s called Kerplunk, which was just a big tube with a bunch of sticks through it and marbles on it, and you had to pull the sticks out without having any of the marbles fall? Yeah, I think it's a lot like that. And the cats get behind the couch. I have intentionally left a little space back there so the cats can get back there. They like to hide back there, and every once in a while they'll touch that, and I know that they touched it because you'll start hearing everything shift again. Yeah, I had Kerplunk when I was like 10 years old, so it was my father's game, but we played it a lot, so I remember that. Got to drink all of my water before it all evaporates here. Yeah, the other thing is a walking stick. I talked about that in one of my first vlogs. That was something that one of my neighbors in my old house made for me, and I discussed the meaning behind all the parts and all that. That was just a really thoughtful gift that one of my neighbors made for me before I left. A lot of them were, I guess, really sad that I left because they like what I did to my house on Halloween and on Christmas. I always had the biggest. I always had the biggest Halloween display, and always had the biggest, Christmas display. And so I think my neighbors appreciated it. There was one of the little girl that lived across the street from me for many, many years. Told me on numerous occasions that she's grown up with my Halloween displays. So they were kind of sad that I left, but that happens. Maybe it'll inspire someone else to pick up the slack. I've already been thinking a little bit what I'm going to do for Halloween here. I think I got a couple ideas. Oh yeah, somebody's asking that right now. I got a couple ideas. I got a little bit of a tiny backyard that I could, maybe put some stuff in. And there's like a grass open area in front of my apartment where I could put, some of the stuff that I use for that. So we're going to play with that. I unloaded a lot of my Halloween stuff out of the pod yesterday. And since I think I'm going to probably end up doing something for Halloween this year, I intentionally I'll kind of put it in the front of the storage locker so I can get at it easily. Yeah, yeah. I had to do a lot of the repairs around my own house too. There's a few things I don't do very well. Um, So I leave that to the experts. My drywall skills aren't up to par yet, but I'm learning on that. And the beauty with drywall is if you do it wrong, it just looks ugly. It doesn't become like a serious problem in the future. It just looks bad. Uh, but one of the things I'm not that good with is like plumbing. When it comes to like copper pipes and soldering them together, because you got to do that right, because if you don't do it exactly right, if you don't get it exactly properly sealed, then you end up with leaks. And so things like that I tend to leave to the experts. But plumbing outside, when I was like doing the sprinklers, I did that all myself. When I did the electrical under the patio cover, I did that all myself. When I had to repaint the entire house twice actually, before I moved, because I started off uh, painting it one color, knowing that I couldn't get away with what I had in the house before. I had this big yellow figure 8 pattern on the ceiling, and it was great for me, but it was not the kind of thing that was going to be attractive to a future potential house buyer. So I ended up just painting the entire house a color based on some recommendations my mom and I came up with, and then I brought the realtor in, and she says, oh yeah, I don't really like that color. You really should paint this. And she gave me another color. So I ended up painting the entire interior of the house twice in about a 6 month period. So that was a lot of work. And then miss something here. No fights, people. You're all my extended family. I expected my extended family to get along with each other. People, please. Yeah, the drawer rail kits aren't really that expensive. They're easy to do. It's so much easier if you start off with the right size parts in the first place. Figure out how long the drawer is, and that's how long your rail's got to be. Don't if you got a 19 and a half inch drawer like I had here, or I think it was 17 and a half inches, don't go out and buy a 23-inch long rail. It's just not going to work that way. Did the lightning and thunder scare the cats? There really wasn't a whole lot of thunder. It was mostly lightning. There's different kinds of lightning. And most of what we were getting is what they call sheet lightning. And sheet lightning is just, it's lightning from one part of the cloud to another part of the cloud versus from the cloud down to the ground. It's the lightning that goes down to the ground that generally makes all the noise. Yeah, yeah, we got to get. I haven't found the iron yet, and that's the reason I haven't done that. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. There's always the concern that since the flag is made out of nylon, that we'll melt it with the iron. But a lot of people had some really great ideas. Either wrap it in a pillowcase or put a towel on top of it, and that's a really good idea. So we'll get that flag straightened out at some point, and we'll get it taken care of. But I just got to find the iron first. Well, you're not necessarily inept by measuring things. In the world of fabrication, they have a saying: "Measure twice, cut once." I'm missing all this stuff here. Do I have a lot of Halloween decorations? Yes, I have a lot of Halloween decorations. I have a lot of Christmas decorations. If you Jordan did a couple of videos of my place at Halloween. You got to check those out because you get a real good idea what I have there. But basically, I got these two big giant hanging ghouls that are one of them's like 15 feet long and one of them's like 25 feet long, and I hang them from the house. And I got strobe lights and cemetery, a cemetery with tombstones and zombies and some gallows that I made and the whole thing. So yeah, yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about how the moon landing was fake. I don't know. I it just seems like by now somebody would have leaked that out if it had really happened. And it was I don't remember who it was, but it was one of the famous astronauts had some guy come up to him and accuse him of not being there and of not doing it. It was all fake. I guess this guy punched him. So whatever. Yeah, there's actually two vlogs that Jordan did for Halloween. It was the one last year because he knew that was going to be the last time, and I think he did one like uh, 2 years before that for Halloween. Do I know how to fish? Yes, I have a lot of family in Minnesota. I visited Minnesota a lot, and you cannot be somebody from Minnesota or having roots to Minnesota and not like fish and know how to fish. So yeah, I have done a lot of fishing. Yes, I do plan on moving into a house eventually. I basically wanted to start with an apartment first off because I don't know what the job situation is going to be. I want to find a job and want to make sure I like the job before I settled into something where I'm anchored into one place because I have a house. If I have an apartment and one job doesn't work, then I can go somewhere else. What part of Texas am I in? I am in Waco. I'm about 100 miles south of Dallas Fort Worth, kind of halfway between Dallas and Austin. No, the landlord doesn't have any idea about what I'm doing in here. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not sure how they deal with it. They might be really appreciative. They could be really upset with it. But what I'm doing is just some really simple little things, the kind of things that they'll probably never even notice. You know, nobody's going to notice that I replaced the light switches in the master bedroom upstairs. Nobody's going to notice that I flipped the switches in the master bath. Nobody's going to notice I patched up that little hole in the closet. Nobody's going to notice that I fixed the drawers. Yeah, that's it. I'm saving them a little time. I'm letting them deal with uh, I'm letting them deal with the big things. When I had the issue with the sliding glass door, you know what? That's them. When I had a problem with that bathroom downstairs, that's them. I'm not going to tackle that. That's too big of a job. But if it's something that, okay, oops, hang on a second. We don't need any anti-Semitism here. Goodbye. Thank you, Candy, and thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. That's so nice of you to remember me here. I thought I blocked you, dude. Okay. You're blocked now. I just deleted your comment. Now you're blocked. No more of that. No more. We don't do anti-Semitism here. No room for that. Yeah, I kind of wish Jordan was here because unfortunately, when I'm talking, I'm looking at the camera and focusing on you guys, and so sometimes these things go through and I don't see it. I liked it when I had Jordan on here, as a moderator, but I don't know. I don't know where he is right now. He was kind of stranded where he was yesterday because of weather. I guess that storm that kind of made things interesting for us last night shut down Dallas Fort Worth Airport, so he wasn't able to get home. So I think he got stranded. Yeah, probably need some mods. I gotta get to the point where I know who some of these people, who some of you are, and can decide that. I knew it was a safe bet to trust Jordan with that because I know Jordan's not gonna mess with me on that. And the truth is, he trusts me on so many things. A lot of people don't know this, but I have his password to his YouTube channel. I have his password to his Patreon channel. I have his password to his Spreadshirt channel. I could, if I really wanted to screw with him, I could. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I know he won't screw with me either. I am blurry. Why am I blurry? I don't know. Am I blurry? Oh, you're right. I am blurry. Oh, that's better. Yeah, he's the best. Jordan is the best person for that because, for one thing, he knows who they all are because they've all come through him first, and so that was why when he a couple of live streams ago he was saying make me a moderator, and it took me a minute to realize what was going on, but you know all of a sudden it dawned on me, oh yeah, if I make him a moderator, he'll go troll hunting for me because he doesn't need to actually specifically watch what I'm doing. He can just focus on that, and he knows the names of all the trolls, so that was a good move. And I don't know. I don't know if I have to make him a moderator every time I do that, or if now that I've made him a moderator, now he's always a moderator. So I don't know. Next time he logs in, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know that much about changing the resolution, but that might be it. I'm broadcasting in high def, so that should be that should be what you should focus on if you're setting your resolution. Assuming, of course, you can receive data that fast. High def video takes a lot to stream. Oh yeah, I absolutely should stay with Jordan. Jordan does great vlogs. I like watching his vlogs too. I would never encourage anyone to leave him and just watch me. Yeah, they're trolls. That's it. They're just looking for attention. One of the trolls that Jordan showed me. I actually went to his own channel and started looking at his stuff, and it was funny because before I did that, he came on and commented on one of my videos or sent me a message or something like that, wondering why I let this Jordan the Lion guy start deleting people, and I was able to reply back and to him immediately. It's like, well, you're acting like you don't even know who Jordan is, but I just went to your channel and you got like 8 videos mocking him the whole time. So you know who he is. You're just lying. And so, I'm not going to undo your blocking. You're just a loser. Go do your own thing. Do I follow any YouTubers besides Jordan? I watch Adam the Woo a little bit, but no, not really. I'm maybe a little timid in terms of trying new things like that. But I watch Jordan all the time. I've seen. I'm a little behind right now, but I've seen all of his vlogs, and I'll watch all of them eventually. Um, but I go hot and cold on like Adam. I watch Justin a little bit, and I don't know Justin's style. He's too hyperactive for me, so I'm not really that much a fan of him. Um, I do like Adam, but Adam doesn't do enough videos for me, I think, to keep my attention. And when I started watching Jordan's vlogs, I always liked the fact that I felt like I learned something when I watched him. I could get into a subject that it's like I look at that, look at the subject line of the video, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't even seem interesting at all to me. But then I watch it and it's fascinating, you know. And that's one of the big differences I've noticed between Jordan and Adam is that Jordan does his research on the subject, so he becomes an expert. I've participated in enough of his vlogs to know that when we're driving somewhere or when we're at his place before we go somewhere, that he'll be watching YouTube videos on whatever the subject is that day, or he'll be researching something or reading articles on it, so that he knows everything he knows about it. Adam doesn't really do that so much. A lot of what Adam does is, oh, look at this. This is cool. Oh, look at that. This is cool. It's like, but he doesn't really know anything about it. So you don't really learn anything. You're just seeing some interesting things. And yeah, that's cool and all, but I don't know. I guess I like to learn. Wow, got somebody from the Philippines. What is it? It must be really early in the morning there, because that's sort of in the same time zone as there's at least close to like Australia. We had an Australian visitor a little bit ago. Yeah, Jordan's always reading up on the subject, um, on whatever subject he's covering. So he'll be an expert because he's that's just that's just who he is. He wants to help you learn about things and to learn to appreciate the things he likes. So that's what I really like about his videos. Tennessee, hello Tennessee. Yeah, absolutely. Jordan makes really great videos. I love watching all of them. Like I said before, I can watch some subject that I'm not even interested in. I'll watch it anyway because I know I like it. Yeah, that video with Randy Rhodes' brother was great. Yeah, that's one of the things that we keep amazing ourselves with when it comes to to Jordan is his ability to meet people. He's just got that personality that he could start talking to anyone, become anyone's best friend like in a second. And that's how he's worked his way into so many of these things. It's almost a joke now that we don't even question, are we going to be able to get in there? It's like, yeah, Jordan will probably be able to talk his way in. He's done it before. He'll do it again. Yes, yes, I'm talking about Jordan Peterson. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with Adam. The Disney ones, okay, he's one of those people who's really into Disney, but, having worked there, it's like, yeah, I've seen it. Now, and that's probably another one of the reasons I don't watch him a whole lot, is just it gets old. Yeah, a lot of people are commenting that they want me to come over and fix their houses. Yeah, maybe someday. I don't know. It'd be really expensive though, depending on where you are. Yeah, yeah. I flew in this handyman from Texas. I know I'm like 2,000 miles away, but yeah, I get a little too bored watching too much Disney too. Like I said, it might be more fun if I didn't work there at one point and had seen everything. I mean, I've only been to Disney World once, but so much of it is just like Disneyland. So you've seen one of them, you've seen both of them. Indiana, welcome to the live stream, Indiana. Did I ever have a paranormal experience at Disneyland? No, but I'm really kind of skeptical about things like that. So I don't know if I would recognize it if I saw it. When I went to that house down the street from where the Manson murders happened, where we did that live stream, I was more of a skeptic coming out of that place than I was going into it. So no, I've seen some creepy videos. You look on YouTube. There's like a famous video I've seen, like of a security camera around the Rivers America, kind of from like New Orleans Square area, looking out towards the rivers of America, and it was like 2 in the morning, and there's this like ghostly figure that's walking across the camera, and they've like tied two or three different cameras, and you can see them go from one camera to the next to the next. I guess there's been supposed ghost sightings in the Tower of Terror attraction too. Okay, yeah, let's not compare Jews positively or negatively. That's not where I want to go. I'm going to delete that comment. Just we'll keep it out of here. I don't like making generalizations one way or another. People are people. Yeah, that character was the guy in the house down the hill from the Manson house was an interesting character. He was a little weird, but whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna leave Sherry Cherries. You're right. That sounds like a troll name. I'm gonna leave it up unless she does something again. But thank you, Handsome Truth. I still would prefer to avoid the combination the conversations about uh, you know different races or whatever. It's just not somewhere I want to go. Water is already lukewarm. Yeah, he was an interesting character though. So okay, here we go again. Bye bye. I don't know what is it. Why does everyone have such obsession with Jews right now? Thank you, Gene. I really appreciate that. I'm really surprised how well people are doing with this live stream. I can't believe that there's that much activity. I mean, I've seen Jordan do a couple of live streams, and the money kind of rolls in there. But I've been really surprised what I'm seeing here. I'm surprised that many of you are doing this. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Have I explored Waco yet? Not a whole lot. Um, I've been driving around, not really just looking for things, but kind of keeping my eyes out. When keeping my eyes open when I'm driving around, just see if I see anything interesting. There's, always some interesting store or something that comes that you see. And sorry, Gene, did I hit you with something? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it's probably one troll. Jordan says that there's one troll that has like 20 different accounts, and when you block one, he'll just move on to another one. So it's just gonna probably take me a while to weed out all of his accounts. You imagine what kind of a pathetic loser there is out there that he goes and creates 20 accounts so that he can go and troll people and block them, prevent them from being able to prevent his comments. It's just stupid. I don't know. Yeah, Waco is a small town. That's one of the things I was looking for. It's big enough to, have the stuff you need, but still small enough to have that kind of small town feel. And as somebody who's lived in California all my life, kind of in a big city area. I mean, granted, I was way out in the burbs, but you know, I like the fact that I can drive like 5 miles and I'm out in the middle of nowhere. You couldn't do that in California. So that was something that I really looked for. I wanted a big enough town where, you know, there's utilities and service and internet and all that stuff, but still small enough to have that small town feel. And Waco really seems like that place. I've been really happy here. Like I said, it gets hot, but you know what? It gets hot everywhere. I deal better with heat than I do with cold, and so that kind of limited my options. I wasn't going to move too far north. Yeah, it wouldn't do a whole lot of good to report the anti-Semitism to the ADL because this clown's just using a bunch of allies. You never figure out who he is. Yeah, I actually am starting to think that maybe you're right. Bye bye. Like I said, I just don't want to talk about it, that kind of stuff. I don't want to go, you know, one way or the other. So he's gone. All right, thank you. What a Kini? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm horrible at pronouncing some of these names. So if I slaughter the name, I apologize for it. But I appreciate it just the same. Yeah, you're not missing anything, Jenny. Just a couple of trolls. It happens. I've repeatedly said that I don't want that kind of stuff here, and they keep posting it again and again and again. So they're gone. I'm sorry if he was being serious and all that, but you know what? This is my channel. I wanna keep this wholesome and family friendly. So it's just I don't know if he's a troll or if he's legitimate. I just don't want to go there. So whatever. All right, there's another one. Sorry, getting a little lag on my. Bye bye. No, the black and white cat is Bite. Nibble is the orange and white one. Now it's easier to keep talking about him and mocking him and then just block him. I don't know. Jordan has more of a just block him and don't worry about him. But I don't know. I kind of I don't know. I kind of like to insult him a little bit. Maybe make him think twice about coming back. Yeah, yeah. I'm not afraid to do that. Yeah, Bite and Nibble were both feral when I got them. I don't know if you saw the video before how I did that, how I got them, but somebody abandoned them in my backyard when they were 5 weeks old, and Bite actually got his name because when I tried to grab him the first time, he bit me. So, so that's how he got his name. And over time, Bite became a very you can't you Bite became a very sociable, friendly cat, but Nibble just never did. I don't know if YouTube can do it. I don't know if I'd want them to do it actually, because their algorithms are really kind of screwed up. I was digging around the analytics of my channel today and stumbled onto a little section there about comments, and it said that there were 15 comments that they had blocked from view because they'd identified them as probable spam. I looked at every one of them, and you know what? They were 0 for 15. Every one of them were just normal comments. Most of them were just people saying, "Yeah, I like your channel, man. Keep up the great work." And apparently, YouTube's algorithms keep finding that. Keep thinking that that means spam. So I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of whole lot of confidence in YouTube's ability to do that. Add that to the fact that there have been a few racist, anti-Semitic, or just spam comments posted, and YouTube doesn't catch those. So I don't know. I think I prefer to just deal with it myself. Yeah, a lot of people have suggested the Dr. Pepper Museum. I may do that at some point, but I gotta admit, I don't like Dr. Pepper. So I don't know how much I would get out of it. But then again, when I was visiting my family in Boston, Minnesota, they have a spam museum there, and I don't like spam either, and I went to that. So I don't know, maybe we'll do that at some point. Yeah, yeah. A lot of times, you can work with a feral cat and turn them around. I think a lot of it has to do with gender too, because I think female cats are sometimes a little less sociable than male cats are. I've always had male cats, and they're always the most sociable ones. And I've also had a couple of female cats, including Nibble upstairs. And when I lived at home with my parents, my mom had a cat, my sister had a cat. They were both females, and they never wanted anything to do with people. So yeah, I don't know if they're meaner. They're not as sociable. That's just been my observation based on my experience with what's 5 or 6 different cats in my life. Yeah, I've heard about the Texas Ranger Hall of Fame too. That might be interesting. I might do that at some point. Unlike Dr. Pepper, I actually like them. A brewery tour would be fun too. I do like beer, and I like certain kinds of beer, and so it would be fun to watch that be done. Yeah. I'm doing these live streams. That was really good advice I got from Jordan. Um, to start doing those. That was really what pushed me over the edge in terms of getting those 4,000 hours. Because if I do a 2 hour live stream and to get 200 people to watch it, that's 400 hours right there. So it's a great way to get your hours up. Uh, so you guys keep coming, so keep asking questions. So that's good. Am I going to go to the Branch Davidian compound? My understanding is there's not really a lot to see there. I guess the Branch Davidians are still there, and so they don't really allow people in that much to view. So all it would be is like a view from the gate. I don't know, that isn't really going to be um, it isn't really going to be that interesting of a vlog, I think. Thank you for the live chat or for the super chat. I appreciate that. AL. Is that okay? That's the name. All right, do it that way. No, I am not done with the last pod. Actually, I explained that in today's vlog, which is going up in about 40 minutes. A lot of people had a misconception that I was done with pods now, and I guess it's sort of my fault because I looked at the title of that episode, and it kind of looks like, yeah, maybe that was the that is where I was going. But the truth is, it takes 2 days with a U-Haul truck to unload a pod. So I've got the third pod about halfway unloaded, and honestly, I'm a little concerned about some of the other stuff that's left in that pod. I don't know. I might have to actually get somebody to help me with that because there's a couple things that are really, really heavy. Before I moved out, a number of years ago, my father built me a workbench for my garage, and I knew I wanted to take that with me. And so we took that apart, and that went into the first pod. And I knew I wanted to take it with me, so we took it apart. But my dad is like me; he over designs things. And so I knew I had to take that with me, but unfortunately it's massively huge and massively heavy. And it took, I think, 3 of us to get it into the pod. So have I tried Texas Whataburger? That's the Texas version of In-N-Out. I would not compare it to In-N-Out. I like In-N-Out. I went to Whataburger once, and it took forever for them to deliver, and then the hamburger, it looked like somebody stepped on it. It was literally flat. If you remember that scene in Falling Down with Kirk Douglas when he goes into the fast food restaurant and orders a hamburger, and he looks at the picture on the wall, and it's this big 3-inch thick burger, and it looks juicy and looks delicious, and then he gets the burger and opens it up and it looks like somebody stepped on it. Yeah, that's what this thing looked like. So I don't know. Maybe I just had a bad one, but I don't know. You deliver something like that once with me, and I don't know. Sometimes it's one strike and you're out. Maybe it was just that one particular place too. Who knows? Maybe they didn't care. I'd love to find an In-N-Out burger in Texas. I haven't seen one of those yet. It's more like White Castle than In-N-Out. Okay, I gotta admit, White Castle is more of like a Midwest thing. I haven't seen any of them here, but they definitely don't have any. They don't definitely have any of them in California. So the only thing I've ever been familiar with White Castle is that you can buy the sliders in the freezer section at the grocery store. Yeah, I don't know if somebody said that um, there's a In-N-Out in Texas. I haven't seen one, but I'll have to go look because I do like those. I haven't tried Five Guys burgers either, but if I've heard good things about that. If I found one of those, that'd be good. In-N-Out is in Austin and San Antonio. See, that's a long drive, 100 miles for fast food. Doesn't really qualify as fast food anymore, does it? That's one of the things I've been noticing. I have a Costco card too, and the closest Costco is in Dallas, and so that's a long drive too. But with Costco, it's one of those things that that I'll often go there and buy like lots and lots and lots of stuff at once. My parents, often will give me like a $500 Costco gift card for Christmas, and what I'll do is I'll just go and I'll buy $500 worth of meat and I'll put it in the freezer, and I'll eat for a year on that. So, you know, okay, so there is one in on 4th Street in Waco. I'll have to look that up because I like In-N-Out. I'll keep track of that address. Am I a California native? Yes, I was born in Long Beach, California, grew up in Garden Grove, and then spent the last about 30 years in Placentia. So, yes, native Californian. My parents are all from Minnesota or that area of the world, but yeah, a lot of people are giving me the address now for In-N-Out. Maybe we'll try that tonight. Yeah, maybe White Castle is more of an East Coast thing, but I haven't really been on the East Coast a whole bunch. But I have been in the Midwest a lot, and so I see them there. So I guess that's what I think of them as. Yeah, it gets really cold in Minnesota. Like I said, I have a lot of family in there, and I made the mistake one year of visiting my uncle in January, and he took me up to northern Minnesota, up near Leech Lake, if you know the area. It's kind of up there by Bemidji and Brainerd and that kind of area. Holy cow, it was cold. I think it was like 30 degrees below zero. About the only thing to do there was to sit in the bar and drink all day. That was the only way to stay warm. So that was what we did. It was so cold, you go outside and it would hurt to breathe. You'd be warm walking out of the house, and then by the time you get to the car, 30 seconds later, you're freezing. Five Guys burgers. It's funny because there's something in California called Five Guys pizzas. So I don't know. Maybe it's the same company, just different focus. Yeah, I agree with you, Venus. I'm not a fan of the cold either. Yeah, I'll try the Five Guys. Check it out. We'll see if it's any good. I always appreciate recommendations like that. Do I ever snow ski? No, I never did that. I did a little cross country skiing, but I don't know. I'm afraid of falling. It's funny. This is a guy that'll jump out of an airplane or jump off of a bridge with a bungee cord. But yeah, in those cases, I'm depending on someone or something else to take care of me. I don't have maybe enough confidence in my balance skills to try snow skiing. Oh yeah, I can't imagine living in a motorhome at 40 below. Of course, then again, I can't imagine living in a motorhome in Tornado Alley either. But some people do. Hmm. Yeah, Texas is definitely a different place from California when it comes to firearms. It was funny when I went into that restaurant last night, that barbecue place I went last night. They were advertising a gun safety program that they were going to hold in the store. It's just odd, the different environment here. You don't ever see any of that stuff in California. They're just they're so terrified of guns in California that it's just they don't even think rationally about it sometimes. I drove by the Texas Roadhouse restaurant today. I was out running some errands, and I saw that. I kind of put that on my list. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm not that old yet. Well, I feel old. I'm getting gray. Am I bored yet? Am I bored what doing the live stream, or am I bored doing the vlogging? I guess I could answer that. Both questions. The answer is no. We'll go for a little while longer. We're coming up on 8 o'clock, so I'll probably end before 8 o'clock, just because that's when my next video goes up, and I got some good electrical storm footage on that. So hopefully you'll enjoy that one. Yeah, like I said, I drove by that place today. I actually made a mental note of it. That I'll have to check it out because it looked like a good place. Do I like Texas or California better? No competition. I like Texas better. Did I get my license to carry? No, I did not. I own several firearms, but I at this point don't plan on getting an open carry or getting a carry permit. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I noticed recently that Texas just passed a law saying that it's legal for anyone to open carry like 10 days after a natural disaster. I don't know. I think that's a good idea. I can't argue with that. Some people don't like guns. That's fine. Don't get one. But, don't tell me I can't have one. Any work ideas yet? No, I want to get that last pod taken care of first, because if I do get like a regular 8 to 5 Monday through Friday job, I'm not going to be able to deal with that last pod because the pod places only works Monday through Friday, so I wouldn't be able to go in on a Saturday or Sunday. So at that point I'd be stuck with them, and the sooner I can separate myself, we'll try that. Dickie's, yeah, I was considering that last night for the barbecue place, and I might try that too. I've seen that place. That looks kind of interesting. No, I don't think Texas is open carry at all times. In fact, a lot of restaurants I see, or a lot of places, businesses I see these days, they have a sign out front that says, it's illegal to carry a gun in here if you don't have a permit to do so. So, that's still a big difference from it's illegal to have a gun in here under any circumstances. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really explored the issue of open carry versus conceal, but it doesn't surprise me that it would be the same license. I haven't seen anyone carrying yet, but you know what? Doesn't really. I haven't really looked for it either. $161 people. That's pretty cool. That's I think close to. I think that's close to the record number of people I've had here. I don't know. I'll have to go look at my data, but I think 161 was pretty close to my peak last time. And this one I didn't even announce. I just came on and did this. That was another piece of good advice I got from Jordan. He says, yeah, just come on every once in a while and just do one. Don't even advertise it. Sometimes I'll advertise them, sometimes I don't. It's funny, there's little difference in the number of viewers I get from it. So whatever, I'll keep doing it sometimes and sometimes I won't. So it'll just be a surprise from time to time. Yeah, I know. There's all sorts of good food I'd like to try here. I've been looking to try maybe some Tex-Mex too. We don't have a whole lot of that in California. I haven't really tried that yet, but I have a pretty good idea that that's kind of, it's a, barbecue, and like Mexican food. And I like both. So, can't go wrong with that. Chewy's Nails Tex-Mex. Is that a nail place or is that food? I don't know. I've never heard of that. Yeah, usually that's how that works with the notifications bell. But I've heard enough people say that it doesn't always work. So I don't know. Like I said, I'll just pop on here occasionally and do something, and sometimes I'll announce on one of my vlogs that I'm going to do something. Other times I'll just pop on. So who knows? Maybe I'll be there from time to time. All right, thanks, Arthur. I'm glad you stopped in. It was nice you're here. Did I ever eat an In-N-Out burger when I was in California? All the time. There was an In-N-Out a couple miles from me, and it was big in California. In fact, Disney had a program. They called it their Four Keys card, and Disney has four basic principles that they kind of want all their cast members to focus on, and they're in order of priority. Their first priority is safety, second priority is courtesy, third priority is efficiency, and fourth priority is show. So first thing, obviously, they want everything safe. Second thing, they want everyone to be courteous. Third, safety, courtesy, show, efficiency. Those are the things that they want you to do, and if you made a suggestion or were recognized by one of your fellow employees as doing something great, they put you in a drawing, and at the end of the month, they drew names out of it, and I won one of the years. And basically, what I got was like a $50 In-N-Out gift card, and so I've been using that a lot. I still have a little bit of that left, so it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all to find an In-N-Out here in Texas. I really like them. They're really good. They're really good hamburgers. It's one thing that they do, and I've always really loved it. So thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that you like the live streams and the vlogs. I'll keep doing them as long as you guys keep watching. Wow, the comments are coming so fast now that I can't even see them. The notifications bell, it should be right next to the subscriber button. It should be something that looks like a little bell. And you click on it, and it should give you a notification whenever something goes on. I think you have to be subscribed to do it. So you have to subscribe first, and then you click on the little bell, and it should send you an alert whenever something happens. Probably whenever I post a new video or whenever I go live. Yeah, I don't know exactly where 4th Street is, but there's not much that's that far away from anything else in Waco. So yeah, I know. I got to get a Mexican girlfriend who knows how to cook good authentic Mexican food. Over at Disney, they have a couple of cast commissaries, but you know what? The best food I got was out of the Roach Coach. They also hired a few Roach Coaches to cook food. And, they really care more. I think a lot of times, the Disney cast commissaries, they just they're just they're just doing it. They're just making the food, and they're making it ahead of time. The Roach Coach I went to, they made it to order, and if you had a special request, they'd do it. The guy that ran the truck knew I was a fan of really spicy things, so he kept coming up with new concoctions to make his food more spicy for me. And he finally got to the point where he had it right. He could make it so hot it would clear my sinuses and make me sweat. And that was always good. That was always I told him that should always be your goal, to clear my sinuses and make me sweat. And so he did a good job. Yeah, I know it's 7:30 here. I'm getting hungry too. So I'm with you, Candy. Well, I'm kind of weird when it comes to eating too, because I only usually eat 2 meals a day. I had breakfast at about noon, but now I'm ready for something to eat too. I don't know. Maybe I'll go find that In and Out or that Texas Roadhouse place. Don't eat past 6. Yeah, that's something you want to think about if you're really watching your weight, because generally anytime after 6 o'clock, uh, you don't digest before you go to bed, and then all that food turns into fat. So yeah, I agree with that. But I also stay up later too. I'm usually up till midnight or 1 before I go to bed. I'm more of a night owl than a day person. Yeah, I wish they'd figure out a way to deliver pizza online. That'd be great. I could go for some pizza right now. Oh, you're gonna love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Lodge. That was so much fun. That place was awesome. Yeah, see, I'm exactly the opposite. I can't get up at 5. I had to do that a number of times when I do bringovers at Disney. I'd have to get up at like 5 in the morning, and that was a little too much. Am I tempted to go tubing? Like what? Inner tubing? Is that like on a river? Oh yeah, Waco definitely has a lot of places. There's several pizza places. A couple chains around here, but when it comes to pizza, I want to try something. That's like maybe that's like maybe more of like a one-off place that isn't like a chain. Because I mean, I've tasted Domino's, I've tasted you know what all the rest of them, Little Caesars, all the rest of them. I know what they taste like. You get you find some. You find some little hole in the wall place, and oftentimes those places are really great. When will my T-shirt be available? That's a good question. Um, I've talked to Orlando over at Merch Five. He's interested. He's given me the specs, and I talked to the graphic artist that created that. And I think initially he didn't expect that I was going to actually be serious about that. So he kind of sent me like a draft version of the image. And when he found out I'm really kind of interested in working this, he wants to do some more adjustments with it and make it pop a little better, add a little bit more detail to it. So you know what, I'm going to let him do that. He's also got a really great idea for a "That's Not How It's Done" shirt, and I'm not going to share too much about that now, but I like where he's going with that, and so we're gonna let him play around with that and see what he comes up with. But I've been very happy with so far what I've seen from him. So we'll get something on the market at some point. It shouldn't be too long, hopefully. Okay, Sluggo, are you John? Okay, all right. Okay, so Sluggo here is a graphic artist. So yeah, I saw the last name. I was wondering if that's him. So yeah, Sluggo here is the guy who's doing is doing the Texas Chainsaw Pod Massacre shirt, and he's also got the good idea for the "That's Not How It's Done" shirt. And like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing that real quick, and can't wait to see what he does with the pod shirt. That's going to be great because I love that one already. I've tried cooking my own barbecue. Now I don't have a smoker, so maybe that's what the issue is. Um, but I've tried it and I haven't really gotten the good results. I got good barbecue sauce. It isn't as tender and it doesn't fly off. It just doesn't fall off the bone like real good barbecue is. So I don't know. Maybe that's what I got to do is I got to get a smoker and just maybe let it cook longer. That's probably what the problem is. Yeah, low and slow. That's probably it. Low heat and let it cook for all day. Because you see the good barbecue places, they have the stuff on the smoker all day. So yeah, and that was what was when we went to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre gas station. They do fantastic barbecue there. That was really good. Um, and they just had like a little screened in enclosure next to the building where the barbecue is, and that's where they cook their barbecue. It's fantastic though. That was really good. Yeah, I know. I might have to do that with when I move into a house. I have my old gas barbecue out here, but it isn't really a smoker, and maybe that's what I'm going to have to do. But that one's got a lot of miles on it. And maybe it's time to retire that one. It's kind of falling apart anyway. Okay, we're back to this again. Bye bye, trolls. I don't want to go there, people. I'm sorry. If you start talking about Jews or start talking about people and dividing them into groups, you know what? You're gone. I don't need this. And it's funny. It's clearly probably the same person because um, you know I've done a number of these, and there's never been that much discussion about Jews, and all of a sudden I got three different people talking about Jews. It's got to be the same person. Troll. Just be gone. I don't need it. Yeah, let's get back to barbecue. I like barbecue better. Thank you, Plymouth Duster 225, for saying you like my vlogs. I appreciate that. I bet who makes good meatloaf there. I don't know. I'm missing half of the conversation sometimes. Yeah, cold beer sounds really good right now. I like ribs. Yeah, I like barbecue ribs, but any pork or chicken or any of that is good. I've had some really excellent brisket, which I liked. Barbecue troll. I don't know. Probably leave a bad taste in your mouth. I don't know if I'm not going to do any travel vlogs. That's sort of more Jordan's thing. I'll probably end up going and visiting somewhere. But this vlog is primarily just about my life here in Texas and the move and all that. And so um, that's primarily what it's going to be. I may go out and under the guise of, hey, this is what I'm doing to entertain myself today. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not going to do a lot of traveling, at least not initially. What I see this turning into is when I buy a house, this will be a fixer-upper house. Jordan, says that I should do, that he compares what I'm doing to this old house, and so yeah, I could see this being kind of an internet version of that. I'm not really into watching sports. I probably won't be attending any Baylor football games. I do know they're right down the street. I've seen them a bunch of times, but I don't know. I don't know if Waco has a zoo. I haven't seen one of those appear on the map. Oh, I love the idea of a spicy meatball. or meatloaf. Maybe you can share that with me. I don't know if it's in the family though. That might be hard. I know there were a bunch of things that I had to, almost kill my mother to get her to give me. So I guess I have heard of the Cameron Zoo in Waco. So yeah, I guess there is one here. Not really a Pabst Blue Ribbon fan. I'm more of a micro brew kind of a person. I'm kind of stuffy when it comes to that. I don't like mass-produced beers, so I'm never going to be a Coors or a Miller or Bud Light or any of those people, or even Dos Equis. I've had Dos Equis before, but I like my more microbrews. That's something I like to do. Is when I find I like looking for a place that maybe has their own brewery, and you know try out their stuff and see what they like. Hey Jane, glad you were able to show up. I'm only going to be here for a little bit more because my video today goes up in about 11 minutes, but I'm glad you're able to stop in a little bit. And I'll leave the video. I'll leave this video up because you can go watch it again afterwards. I see Jane said, hi, Gene. I always laugh when I hear those two words because it sounds like somebody saying the word hygiene. I also had a boss at work whose name was Jack, and I was reluctant to say hi, Jack, too, because, that's something you don't want to say at the airport. Yeah, 5 minutes at each brewery, though, I probably wouldn't be able to stand up straight. I've thought about brewing my own beer too. That would be fun too. But I think I'd want to start with somebody that knows learning with somebody who knows what they're doing. It's supposed to be really easy, but I do think it would be fun to try it and see what happens. Wow, 171 people. That's amazing. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you watching. Do you have my slippers on tonight? Yes, I do. They are on again. I wear those a lot around the house. They're just comfortable. It's a little uncomfortable wearing shoes as much as I sometimes do. Yeah, I suppose I could watch a video on how to brew beer. Like I said, it would just be the advantage of having somebody help you with it. Is that they can watch what you're doing and say, "Oh, wait, no, you're not doing it quite right." That way, and try this instead. Do I miss working at Disney? No, not at all. I'm over them. I probably won't even go back again. Well, I ever had curry before? Yes, yes, with Indian food. Shorts and slippers. That's me, especially in the heat of Texas. It's been too hot to wear anything but short pants. I wore those a lot in California, and it's hotter here. How are the kitties? The kitties are doing good. I think they're sleeping right now because I haven't seen them. Last time I did a live stream, it was earlier in the day, and I managed to get Bite to come down and take a visit and say hi to everyone. But I don't know. I got some kitty treats today at the grocery store, so um, we'll see. Sometimes that was the way I got Nibble to be a little bit more affectionate. And she'll come up and visit me if I'm handing out the treats. And she'll get right on top of my chest, and when I'm laying in the lazy boy chair, she'll come up for the food. I hope they were happy to be reunited with me. Bite, he's back to his old self. Nibble's still a little bit freaked out by this, but I'm trying to make it easy on them. Do I know when I'll see Jordan and Jaw again? I'll probably end up going and visiting, California, later in the year, and maybe I'll see him then. Jordan's traveling a lot right now, so who knows? Maybe he'll come this way. And Jaw's always welcome here. We'll figure it out. I'm actually able to accommodate him now because this sofa here turns into a bed and it's pretty comfortable. So, and I have that inflatable mattress I lived for the first 12 days when I didn't have a bed. I'm glad you're looking forward to the shirts. I'll definitely put them on the vlog when they come loose, or when they get released. What kind of juice do I like? I did a vlog earlier on about how I was so happy that I found my unsweetened white grapefruit juice, and I really like that. I've always been someone that really likes kind of extreme flavors, So, I like, sushi with lots of wasabi, and I like, Italian food with lots of garlic, and I like Mexican food with lots of hot sauce, and I like grapefruit juice. So that's just who I am. Nothing planned with Jordan and Jaw at this point, but we'll maybe work something out at some point. I'd like to see him again. I don't know if he's even home yet. Yeah, grapefruit juice is just something it's an acquired taste. I can't stand the sweet grapefruit juice. It's too much for me. I just like plain unsweetened grapefruit juice. Why did I hide my criminal record from? Yeah, another troll. Why did I hide my criminal record? Because I don't have one. That's why. I've only seen the inside of one jail in my entire life, and that was over at Alcatraz, and that was on the tour. I like cranberry juice too. Yeah, that's great too. Yeah, I spent a summer a number of years ago in Alabama, and you're right, they love spicy food there. I like Cajun food too. That's awesome. Yeah, Alcatraz was an interesting place to visit. Yeah, the tour in Alcatraz is a lot of fun because they literally take you through, all the cell blocks, and you can get into some of the cells, and they show you the cells that some famous people, you know, stayed in. The Birdman of Alcatraz was there. And they show you his cell, and they show you solitary confinement. What brand is that grapefruit juice? It's the HEB store brand. I used to get the Ocean Spray white grapefruit juice, but they discontinued it. And I used to go to Ralph's, and Ralph's had a store brand, and they discontinued it. Then I went to an Albertsons, and they had a store brand, and they discontinued it. And then I went to Vaughn's, and they had a store brand, and they discontinued it. So for the last couple of months, I was in California. I couldn't find any grapefruit juice, so I was so excited when I found this stuff here. And so far, I keep seeing it in the store. I was in that HEB today, and they still have it now. Yeah, I like grapefruit juice and vodka. I'm a big fan of that. All right, yeah, I'll do that. Nick Gurr, happy birthday from Spitz, right? Yeah, too bad we can't lock the trolls in Alcatraz. All I can do is lock them out of this channel and hope they don't have 20 other channels and come back in. Yeah, I'm not really into ruby red grapefruit juice. The only grapefruit juice I really like is unsweetened white grapefruit juice. The all of the pink or red grapefruits, they're just too sweet for me. It's just my personal taste. Jordan has been trying to get me into Willie Nelson and Hank Williams. I guess I'm amused by some of the stuff that Willie Nelson does, and I've liked him in some of the movies I've seen him in. So, I could, perhaps get into it. Jordan played a lot of Willie Nelson when we were driving here. So, no storm tonight. It's supposed to be pretty quiet. I'm looking outside right now. There's not a cloud in the sky. Nice little breeze going on, but haven't seen any lightning bugs. I don't know. Are they here? Are they around here? That might be. I got to admit, I've only been here for a month, and I kind of try and stay in at night because it's not the lightning bugs that I'm concerned about. It's the mosquitoes. They'll pick you up and carry you away if they give you a chance. Are my neighbors quiet? Yes, very quiet. I'm sometimes in the evening I'll be aware of them listening to music, but after hours, it's too late in the evening, and it's really, really quiet here. That's one of the things I really like about this place. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen lightning bugs when I visited Minnesota in the summer. It's possible, um, they were, they'll be down here too. Is the apartment complex full? I don't know. I know that when I moved in, that there was one particular model I wanted, and they didn't have that. So I ended up having to move to this one. Yeah, a lot of people have suggested I ought to just move out of this place because of how shoddy the construction is and all that. But you know what? It's made this vlog a great vlog. A lot of people are watching this, and it's given me some good content. So I've seen those mosquito bracelets. They do work, huh? That's interesting. I just bought myself a can of off, but I've seen those in the store. So yeah, maybe I'll try those. Did I ever ride a motorcycle? No, I haven't. I'd like to do it, but I haven't yet. Maybe someday. It'd be fun to do it. I have a bicycle and I like cycling, so that's fun. All right, so it's 8 o'clock, so it looks like my video for today should be up. So I think I'm going to end this one right now. We went for a little more than 2 hours, and I like doing that. So that's good. It looks like I got 167 viewers at the end. So I think we got up to 170 or something. So thank you all for watching, and for those of you who super chatted me, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. I'll see you next time.